a baby, number 2, so it's a boy. So I'm quite happy today.
And that's just within the last 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, it was between 12 and 1. I'm not sure to be honest, but it was quite late. Yeah.
Well, the first thing we've got to say is congratulations, a little boy, I understand.
Yes, as a boy. He can play for the Scottish national side in 16, 17 years.
Do you feel in the right frame of mind? I mean, you're obviously very high. You must be a
I'm not settled down yet, but as soon as I start warming up and I try to concentrate about the game.
Did the manager ask you if you wanted to play?
No, I wanted to play myself, so we haven't spoke about that at all.
So you really feel like good after what's happened. Clearly you feel good, but you're up for the game.
Yeah, I am.
What about this game today then?
It's an important game for us, and this game can save the season. So hopefully we can have a win today.
Is there any question this is a grudge match after what happened in the Coca-Cola Cup final?
No, we can't see it that way. That's history for us, and this is a normal game for us. But we need to win. That means everything for us.
A normal game, Eric, but not a normal day.
No, not a normal day.
Very congratulations, all the best today. Thank
you very much.
Cheers.
Yes, congratulations to the Pedersens, and just looking at the sunshine and the fellas talking about it, has an air of a big game and a good day, Jimmy. You always like to play in conditions like this, don't you?
It's a perfect day for football. I mean, the pitch is in good nick, and there isn't any wind, which is quite unusual for Tannadice. So there's no reason why the players can't put on a show today.
Yeah. What do you think's gone wrong for United recently? Because it has ever since that League Cup final defeat, Paul, hasn't it?
I think it took its toll. I think that result, I think confidence was drained out of the team from that. I think a couple of key injuries to certain players as well. And the boy Olafson's a very important player for them, but he's been patchy since the cup final due to carrying a wee knock, which I think he's sorted out now. And really, in the end, football's all about confidence. And if your team doesn't have it, it's a long haul.
Yeah, there's no doubt at all that was a moment when things just started to go wrong for United at the end of November when they lost that League Cup final victory. It's a question that's been exercising Tommy McLean, of course, over the last 3 months, and here he is talking once again to Chick.
So what about the rest of the team news? Does Olafson make it? We know he's had an operation just 10 days ago. Is there any chance of him playing?
Yeah, he'll be playing. He's came through well and has done particularly well to get over the sort of operation. That just shows you modern medicine now, like say cartilages. It's amazing what it can maybe do for your hair, Chick.
It's not a miracle we're looking for. You're clearly in good form. Your team is such good form as you.
Well, we'll tell you later on, but at the moment it's the type of game we're looking forward to. We've not been playing particularly well, but as I say, this is the type of game that gives them a good platform to enhance individual reputations and the team.
Can I say to you that I thought you got a bit of a going over in the Coca-Cola Cup final? Is this a grudge match for you?
When are you getting back to?
This season, actually.
Aye, but that's way back. What about the last game here?
Right.
That was the latest encounter. Talk about the latest encounter.
Okay, so is it a grudge match?
It's not a grudge match. We just want to win the game and get to the next round of the competition. No, there's no shadow of doubt that I think the 3 games prior to the last one, it's basically been handed to. That's maybe been a bit critical of Celtic, who played well, are not giving them that respect. They definitely done well, but I don't think we done ourselves justice in any of the games. But the last one, I definitely felt a wee bit aggrieved. I thought we should maybe add more from that one.
You're smiling just now, Tommy. Briefly, do you think you'll be a happy man at full time today?
If we play it with potential, I'm sure I will.
That lovely smile. Thanks a million.
Check.
Yes, Tommy McLean in good humour with still half an hour to go until kick-off, and Kjell Olafsson, after that cartilage operation, will play, he says. Well, let's just confirm that, because, Chick, I think you now have the teams for this afternoon.
Yes, as Tommy said, Kjell Olafsson does play. Incredible news indeed. And Eric Pedersen, who we just spoke to, also starting the game. Let me take you through that Dundee United team, 1 to 11. Steve Dijkstra, of course, in goal. David Bowman wears 2. Maurice Malpass, the long-serving captain, assistant manager, wears 3. Stephen Presley 4. Mark Perry 5. Eric Pedersen wears 6. Kjell Olafsson remarkably in the team, wearing 7. Lars Zetterlund 8. Robbie Winters 9. Jamie Dolan 10. And Andy McLaren wears 11. On the bench for United this afternoon, Craig Easton, Emmanuel Omiyamine and Magnus Skolmark wears number 15. 6, Henrik Larsson wears 7, Craig Burley wears 8, Harold Brackback 9, Paul Lambert 10 and Morten Vikhorst wearing number 11 jersey. A little shuffle on the bench for Celtic. Phil O'Donnell wears 12, Rico Inoni 14, David Hanna 15. The referee here is Kenny Clark.
Thanks, Chick. Let's get a reaction to those team then from Paul and Jim.
I need a chance for Christian Daly. Has he scored? Brewster has! United are ahead! A disaster for Ali Maxwell! 2 minutes into the second half, Craig Brewster gets his 20th goal of the season. The Right Honourable Ian Lang, Secretary of State for Scotland, presents the Scottish Cup to Maurice Malpass.
Celtic will win by 1 or 2 clear goals.
I think I'll probably get beat.
Why are you coming to see your team getting beat?
It's force of habit.
2-0 Celtic, definitely.
3-1 Celtic.
What's going to happen today?
Well, United are going to win, obviously.
How much are they going to win by?
2-0. 2-0.
I reckon it's going to be at least 3-0 to Celtic. I mean, this will be 5th time lucky for the United, is it not? I think the treble's on.
United are going to win and beat Celtic.
The treble is on. And so is the Champions League next season.
United's going to win.
Celtic.
Dundee United are going to win. And Celtic are going to get beat.
The unshakable confidence of the football fan before kick-off time. Well, let's talk about one of the players who will, as always, have an important role to play this afternoon. A man who has had an important role to play for Dundee United, it seems, for a very, very long time. Maurice Malpass today plays a club record 78th Scottish Cup tie for Dundee United. He scored 4 times, in fact. Rob McLean's been talking to the United legend who finally got his hands on the trophy 4 years ago.
One of Scotland's top professionals over the last 10-15 years, Maurice Malpass.
I've had a shot of everything, you know. Obviously I've been capped. I've won the league. I've played in umpteen finals. I've played in a UEFA final. I've been to the semi-final of European Cup. Played in a couple of World Cups. And I've done that playing for Dundee United, which I'm very pleased with. I'm very proud of.
You know, people have said all along that he lacks pace, but he certainly makes up for that with his intelligence. You know, I can't see Maurice ever having to need to quit the game, because it's not like he's going to ever lose his pace, because he didn't really, he's not really got it, but he's so clever, you know, and he's been a massive influence on myself since coming here. I'd like to think that I've learnt so much from him, and he's just, in terms of the team, he is really a calming influence on us. I suppose the wise man of the team.
I still got a kick from playing in front of a crowd. I've still got the drive to make sure the person, my opponent, doesn't get the better of me.
Oh, he's different class. I don't think I've ever seen him having a bad game. Every week it's just the same. He just strolls through it. I think he's about 50 now, but he keeps turning it every game.
Now I think fitness is all in the head to a certain degree. I know what I've got to do to get myself 100% for a Saturday. I don't do the silly stuff, you know. I don't do the hard training that I used to do. But I train every day now. I very rarely take a day off. I'll go and train with the kids.
A big influence on the players around him. Still, in my opinion, a very, very good player and a very big influence to Dundee United and obviously the players around him.
Obviously, after being in the game so far for 20 odd years, I'd like to go into the management. I've done a bit of coaching. I'd like to get my neck on the line and see how I cope with that, whether I like it or don't. I know I enjoy the coaching, but I'm desperate to have a chance, and if I have a chance here, fine. If I've got to go some other place, I've got to go some other place.
We've been playing him spare at the back sometimes, and he's using the game's brilliant, and he just sits in front of Sieben that and just works the back four.
Ability takes you so far, and then, you know, your attitude's got to come into it, and that's probably my biggest asset. I'm a stubborn little git.
Wonderful professional, 55 caps for his country, maybe one of the last of the great one-club men of Scottish football. Paul, you played with him for many, many years. Tell me about Maurice Malpass.
Well, a true professional. You know, I've always believed that lately that defending's becoming a dying art, and he's one of the few true defenders left in the game. He's reading the game second to none. And as I said already, he's not the quickest. When he played fullback, he was never the quickest, but there wasn't many wingers that caused him any concern. And he's been able to adapt to go into the centre-back position, which for his height is quite incredible, but heading ability is incredible. You know, his spring is unbelievable for his size, and he gets away with it. And he's led the line there. He's got the boy Presley playing at a decent standard now, and he makes sure that all the younger players are playing to their full potential as the game goes on. He's a leader.
That's a good word, actually. He is a leader, and he wants to follow you two into management, Jim. But that means starting all over again. Doesn't matter how good a player you've been. It's going back to the beginning, really, isn't it?
No, that's right. I mean, you know, the qualities as a player, really. You can take the fact that his intelligence into the game, but it's obviously how the rest of the players react with him. But he's cutting his teeth in the coaching field with Dundee United. I'm sure a lot of the United fans would love him to stay here, as you know, and as part of the coaching setup. But as I said, if it's not to be here, he's want to put his head on the line somewhere else. And I think most people would think that he would have a great future in the management game. You know, and hopefully when he does decide to hang up his boots, which I think will still be a couple of years away yet.
Well, I was going to ask you that, because he doesn't look as if he's ready to stop. He still copes comfortably with most things, doesn't he?
Well, the position he plays in, he really is only playing a third of the pitch. You know, he's not running all over the place, and you know, so he can just use his experience and read the game and make sure the young guys around about him do their job. And they're saying, if he does that, and he's not had too many bad injuries, and if he can do that, then I can see him playing certainly at the highest level for another couple of seasons yet.
Yeah. And as everybody knows, you play as long as you can, don't you? You don't give up.
Definitely.
You absolutely have to.
All these balls knocked into the box from corner kicks and set pieces, and that'd be vital today with Celtic having so much strength in that aerial department with Reaper, Stubbs and Vikhorst. Further forward, Dougie, I would look at people like the Eric Pedersen, who has wife and a baby today, and it was going to be a very big afternoon for him. I mean, you're talking about a chap who actually has probably had no sleep last night, but he's such a great competitor, terrific little player. He'll go and mark, I would imagine, Simon Donnelly today, man for man on the fan side for Dundee United, trying to stop Donnelly playing. Pedersen always gives his all for Dundee United, and he's usually one of their best players.
And up front, United, I mean, they do carry a thread, of course, don't they? Players like McLaren, like Robbie Winters as well.
Yeah, they've got Olofsson back today, who's just recovering from a cartilage operation. Be interesting to see how he performs. I know Paul says he's a good athlete, so that should make a difference. Robbie Winters, especially, is a player that obviously Celtic respect, because in the final of the Coca-Cola Cup, they marked him man for man. They gave him that sort of compliment, and Tommy Boy was on him. I don't know whether they'll do that today, but they certainly wouldn't want to give Winters an awful lot of room, because he's strong running, he's good at taking chances, and he'll want to get in behind them all the time. So I think that that'll be a very important department for Dundee United.
Over on the Celtic side, Paul and Jim and I have just been talking about how tight they are.
Thanks, Dougie. Ever since the draw was made for the quarter-finals of the Tennant Scottish Cup, this was always the tie of the round, and eagerly awaited by everyone inside Tannadice. These Celtic fans taking some sustenance before the match gets underway, and they have a real appetite for more success this season. As for the Dundee United supporters, they really want to get their season kick-started. The season got off to a poor start, then they did a good run, 6 straight wins leading up to that double-header against Celtic in November. Both matches were lost heavily, and really Dundee United haven't been the same team since. But the Celtic fans have a treble to at least dream about at the moment. It might become a lot more than a dream as the days and weeks pass between now and May. 2 games away from their second cup final of the season, and leading the league as well, Celtic. These Dundee United fans will be very heartened by the news that Kjell Olofsson is fit to play. They will certainly need him. Gordon, these United fans obviously needing some good cheer in what's been a really bad spell.
I think they'll be hopeful more than expected, Rob, to be honest with you. They're coming along here this afternoon when their team hasn't been doing particularly well. They've been having a few draws, but they've not really played with the sort of form they played in the very early part of the season, or even last season when they had such a good long spell. I think the cup finals you mentioned there did take a lot out of them. They lost heavily to Celtic at Celtic Park the week before the final, and then went into that match, I think, a little bit worried. Didn't perform on the day and haven't really performed since.
And Kenny Clark now leads the teams out on a day of sunshine on Tayside. Boris Malpass and Tommy Boyd leading the 2 sides out, and Kenny Clark in charge will be hoping for a quieter afternoon than he had 8 days ago at Ibrox, when he issued 2 red cards, a stream of yellow cards as well, in a stormy match between Rangers and Hearts. But today it's all about Dundee United and Celtic. And let's remind ourselves of the two teams. The most remarkable thing about this Dundee United team is that reappearance of Kjell Olofsson, who restarted training on Friday, just 10 days after a cartilage operation. It's a big boost for the Tannadice team to have the 17-goal Swede available. His return, one of 3 changes from the team which drew with St Johnstone last Saturday. Midfield battlers Dave Bowman and Jamie Dolan are recalled. Siggy Jonsson is injured, and dropping down to the bench are Craig Easton and, I think, thankfully for the commentary team, Emmanuel Omoyumni.
Well, I don't like to second-guess Tommy McLean's selection, but I think they will play with Peterson on the left-hand side today so they can go and play against Simon Donnelly. They'll definitely have those 3 in the midfield, Bowman, Dolan and Zetland. Very, very competitive pair, triple there. They'll want to go and close Celtic down in the area where Celtic is strong, and I think those front three pick themselves. McLaren will either play right wing or left wing. I've started them on the left, but those 3 will definitely be up front.
OK, so that's the Dundee United team of Celtic's doubtful starters. One's passed the fitness test, one hasn't. Craig Burley's recovered from calf trouble. Jackie McNamara's ruled out, and that spells good news for Simon Donnelly. He'll take McNamara's place, Gordon.
Yeah, Wim Janssen has had the luxury of hardly been able to change his team all season there. That team almost picks itself as well. Simon Donnelly has come in for Jackie McNamara, as you mentioned, but all these other players have been playing regularly. Very, very strong at the back. Great midfield.
And that's us underway in the plum tie of the quarter-finals. Dundee United against Celtic, their 5th meeting of the season. The 6th is just 6 days away. They meet in the league at Celtic Park next Saturday, and the statistics so far don't make good reading for United. They've lost all 4, and those 2 in November they lost very heavily indeed. An early touch for Andy McLaren. United will look for some menace from him down the flanks. He can play on either side. Covering by Alan Stubbs, and happy to usher that one behind. Stubbs and Rupert have given so much solidity to Celtic this season. And just a reminder, the man in the middle is Kenny Clark, one of Scotland's most experienced referees. Flicked on by Mahe for Larsson. Craig Burley just overrunning it. Knocked on by McLaren. Mahe scored one of the goals which beat Dunfermline in the 4th round of the Cup. Stephen Presley went for that, missed it. Knocked on by Lambert, chased by Larsson. Covering is Maurice Malpass. United so aware of the threat that Henrik Larsson poses. He's a goal scorer and he's a goal maker as well. Donnelly to Lambert. Larsson again. In the way, Pedersen. Losing his footing slightly, but does well, recovers well. Given away though. Tight to the touchline, Henrik Larsson. The United fans screaming that the ball was out. There was some doubt about that, but there was no doubt about the handball by Jamie Dolan, which gives Celtic a free kick. A Tommy McLean man, Jamie Dolan, played for him at Motherwell. Now on the team at Tannadice. Free kick taken quickly in from Donnelly, away from Malpass. Chance for Winters to control the ball, and fouled by Tom Boyd. And maybe just a sign, as Gordon was saying a little bit earlier, of the worries that Celtic have about Winters.
Yeah, he's pacey, Robbie Winters, and just skipping away from Tommy Boyd. They might have lost the ball anyway as Vikos came back, but Tommy Boyd a bit late with his challenge.
Winters to McLaren. Cutting inside then outside, but he lost the ball in the process. Zetterlund. Malpass, Celtic working hard, closing down. Good pass though from Malpass to Zetterlund. First time from Winters. He was pressured into the quick pass, and possession given away.
The Celtic have started the way practically we thought they would. It's a 4-3-3 though, but they've pushed Larsson a bit further forward here. Donnelly is pushing right out wide, and Dundee United have gone with the back 4 as suggested, with Perry on the right hand side, Peterson on the left. But the only difference is they've got McLaren on the right wing there to play against Mahe, and they're going the sort of traditional way that they were playing when things were going well from last season. McLaren, Winters and Olofsson on the left hand side as a front 3.
Andy McLaren, who suffered such agony missing out in the Coca-Cola Cup final because of suspension, and he admitted this week that all he could watch was the first goal of that game. After that he'd had enough and he disappeared. United vastly outplayed on that occasion. and really wanting to compete today for all sorts of reasons. Kjell Olofsson's long throw, nodded away by Stubbs. Not out of the area yet. Here's Pedersen. Kept the shot down, took a knock in the process, but didn't really trouble Jonathan Gould.
Yeah, it was a bit of a loose ball there, but just couldn't quite get his shot, and Simon Donnelly came in. Straight leg against Pedersen, has to be said, and it must have been a sore one to take on the shin there, but it stopped him getting a powerful shot in.
Craig Burley with Jamie Dolan in front of him. Neat flick from Larsson. In from Lambert. Maurice Malpass had to stretch to reach that. Simon Donnelly was lurking. And another foul by Tommy Boyd and Robbie Winters. Kenny Clark will be taking a note of these offences.
Yeah, well, that's 2 down now. I mean, Tommy Boyd will need to be careful. I mean, he has been turned again there. Look, the arms came up, just stops Winters getting on his way. Winters is quick. Celtic have, I think, got a fear of him getting in behind them there, and Tommy Boyd will now need to be careful.
Stephen Pressley over the free kick. Mark Perry is pushed forward for United. It's for Zetterlund, nodded away by Lambert. Gets it back from Donnelly. The pass goes astray. Early ball from Malpass, flicked on by Olofsson. Slight hesitation between Stubbs and Boyd. Bowman. Robbie Winters couldn't control that, although doing his best to get it back. Now Lambert trying to slow things down, calm things in the middle for Celtic. Bit of jostling there between Larsson and Malpass. Good play from Dolan. Here's Perry. Knocking it up the touchline for Robbie Winters to run onto. Perry back to Malpass. A flick from Olofsson. Volleyed away by Craig Burley. The ball taking a fair old bruising at the moment. That's good play from Erik Pettersson. Getting there before Donnelly and keeping the ball in. The flick from Larsson. And again Pettersson was the man in the way. That's well won by Boyd. Fiercely competitive in these opening minutes. Good flick from McLaren. Kjell Olofsson. Davy Bowman. Left by Olofsson, hoping that Andy McLaren was in behind him.
It's a very fast match, Rob. I mean, it's been played at breakneck speed at the moment. Celtic have gone for man at the back. System that was successful for them in the Coca-Cola Cup final. Tommy Boyd is marking Winters man for man. Reaper is taking the job of marking Olofsson as well. Mahi on McLaren, and Alan Stubbs is virtually the free player. He's the sweeper in the system.
Here's the wise man of the team, as Stephen Pressley calls him, Maurice Malpass, trying to spark things from the back. Larsson leaves it for Lambert. Good pace from Pressley, and good covering as well for Maurice Malpass. Approaching 800 games for Dundee United, 17 years on the books. Donnelly, Larsson. Donnelly racing into the middle. That's away from Mark Perry over his own crossbar. Hopefully he knows what he was doing. Steve Dykstra looked a bit concerned for a moment there.
I think it was just getting away anywhere, really. It was a great ball play then by Larsson. That's a very, very difficult one for defenders to deal with. I think he was just putting his foot underneath it and getting it a bit of height, and he did the right thing. Take no chances in those sort of areas.
Mark Perry, an ever-present in the United side this season. Doesn't pick up too many headlines, but United depend on him. The in-swinging corner kick, and that's well held by Steve Dykstra. He read that well, and he kept his eyes firmly fixed on the ball. Robbie Winters away from Craig Burley. That's for Zetterlund. And Robbie Winters gets it back. He's got a bit of room here. Squares it for Bowman. Here's Andy McLaren. Not the best of balls in. Olofsson's at the near post, Winter's at the far post. Andy McLaren failed to find either.
Super move. It all started with Dykstra making a good catch, actually, just taking the pressure off his team and getting the ball out. They walked out the left side, got it across. Good ball in from McLaren. Well defended there by Celtic, but it is a corner. That's the best move Dundee United have put together so far.
Andy McLaren with the corner kick. Malpass! So close to the opening goal, Maurice Malpass. Some grappling in the centre circle between Harold Brattbakk and Erik Pedersen. Tempers frayed there, and there could be trouble here for Brattbakk, who obviously didn't like the attentions of Pedersen, and he lashed out at the Norwegian. Both Norwegians, I'm sure they know each other well, and they certainly know each other well after that challenge.
Yeah, it was David Bowman actually who actually pulled him there, Rob. It was just a through ball there, and he was on his way right back. David Bowman just made sure he wasn't going to end of it. They didn't know, I don't think, either player, that the game had already been pulled up. This corner had come in here, great ball in from McCann. Look at Malpass getting across the front of the defenders there, smashed a great header onto the bar, and terrific effort from Malpass. Not normally noted for his goal scoring, that's for sure, but that was almost putting Dundee United in front.
Bowman, Malpass did well. Good challenge by Craig Burley, won that well for Celtic. The reverse pass was aimed for Harold Brattbakk, and it was well cut out. Dave Bowman for Kjell Olofsson. Good tackle by Mark Reaper. Olofsson trying to evade his marker. That's given away by Stubbs. Andy McLaren. Good moments these for United. Alan Stubbs gets it away. Stephen Mai was challenged by Bowman, and the last touch went off the Celtic man as Tommy McLean looks on. He must be fairly content with United's start. Here's Brattbakk leaving it to Larsson. Now Brattbakk sprinting through the middle. It's a good run and he's onside. Chance for the opening goal. Brattbakk! He's done it! The lead, the pass was perfect, and Harold Brattbakk did the rest. 8th goal in 5 games. Celtic in front.
Well, it's a form that's been so successful, Foster. Look at this, Brattbakk left it. He's onside there. Look at the pass, definitely played on. But Pedersen, he's through there at 1-1. Now his confidence is there. This is what he should have been doing earlier when he came to the club. But he's got all the confidence in the world. Lovely skill to round the big people like Dykstra. That's not easy. Takes his time, but look at the pass there. Knows exactly where he wants it. These runs he makes forward are tremendous. Goes pretty wide, but he's got the pace, the control, and the skill to put that away. That comes at the end of a very good spell for Dundee United, you have to say. They're right in the game, forcing Celtic back. But that's the big danger when you're pushed up the field, playing against the pace of Larsson, playing against the likes of Brattbakk who wants to run in behind you. That's always going to be something that can potentially happen to you.
He was a slow starter, Harold Brattbakk. A few of the Celtic supporters were unconvinced early on, but at the moment he can't stop scoring.
Well, the clever thing was that both players knew exactly what was on. As soon as Brattbakk came to the ball, he left it to Larsson. They knew there was space in behind. You just felt that if Larsson could find him, he was going to be in, because he made a great run forward. His time was perfect. I think Pedersen just a little bit slow in stepping out. Maybe has been up all night with his wife and the baby, and his mind not quite as sharp as it might have been there. If he'd stepped up, he certainly would have caught Brattbakk offside, but Celtic taking the lead, and as I say, really it came at a tremendous stage for them, because there was no doubt the confidence was growing in Dundee United.
Pedersen. So Harold Brattback's 9th goal for Celtic. He arrived at the club with such a fantastic scoring record with Rosenborg, and after a slow start he shows signs of keeping that going. Olofsson with the long throw, only managing to find the head of Reaper. Paul Lambert, given away, straight to Kjell Olofsson. Time to size up the cross. Not the most damaging of balls in, and it was cut out at the near post by Tommy Boyd.
Yeah, they'll keep going, Dundee United. I mean, they've got to try and break back quickly. get their confidence back again. A tremendous blow to them, no doubt. That's a good ball in from Olsen. Uncharacteristic bad pass from Paul Lambert there, giving them the opportunity. But good defending, getting across the near post, just blasting it away.
Right-footed from the left-hand side from Andy McLaren, and that's well collected by Jonathan Gould. Hasn't had too much to do apart from seeing Maurice Malpass's header crashing off his crossbar. He dealt with that well, but United keeping the pressure on. Andy McLaren getting beyond Mark Reaper. And that was good covering by Paul Lambert. Does so much defensive work.
Yeah, they just, unfortunately, they just throws it, and he's lunging in there. He's trying to make up for the ball breaking away from there. I don't think there was any intent to foul Paul Lambert there. Unlucky. But those Celtic fans obviously delighted coming up here today. I mean, they've had a good record against Dundee United this season, no doubt about it. I mean, they should have been feeling relatively confident about this game, but Dundee United has started the game pretty well.
Stefan Mahe, good tackling back by McLaren. That's for Larsson. Away from Stephen Presley, the long ball for Shell Olofsson to chase. Simon Donnelly, obstructed by Eric Pedersen. And Kenny Clark was very close to the scene to make the ruling. Burley's pass gets it back from Weghorst. Stefan Mahe making a run forward. Now Paul Lambert struck it fairly well, but couldn't keep it down. Tends to score spectacular goals, Paul Lambert. A couple of beauties already this season.
Hasn't scored any bad ones, that's for sure. But opens the game up. He's in a good position to shoot here. I think really there's two options there. One is to just to try and curl it to the back post. Steve Dykstra is off his line. Then there was an opportunity was on, but Paul Lambert deciding to go for a bit of power, getting underneath it and blasting it over.
Dave Bowman knocks it back, and all the way back to Steve Dykstra. Mark Reaper is able to let that run. It's a spell in which Celtic will want to consolidate, having got the lead and having soaked up a fair bit of pressure from United. Celtic now looking to build on the back goal. Wadded in the field by Lambert. Dave Bowman got there before Weghorst. Perry with McLaren up ahead of him, and Stefan Mahe in close attendance. McLaren slipped. Out by Stubbs.
Doing a good job, Alan Stubbs. I mean, he's sitting in there behind. His other defenders have got to be careful because they're man-for-man marking, but Stubbs has to be the one that reads everything, gets himself in the positions that anything played long, played beyond his fellow defender. He's the man that gets across, and he's good on the ball when he gets there too.
Bowman into Zetterlund. Back with Dolan on the left foot. Craig Burley battling to win the ball back, prevented from doing so by Jamie Dolan. He kept the ball on the ground, and the free kick given against him.
He just lost his foot, and Jamie Dolan here, look, he just tries to make sure he's so competitive, isn't he? Just couldn't bear to see Celtic breaking away with that ball.
That beats Pedersen, finds its way through to Larsson. Simon Donnelly, and Rick Larsson again. Dolan spotting the Winters run. Two Celtic players in front of him, Boyd and Stubbs. That's for Olofsson. Here's a chance for United! That's the equaliser! Shell Olofsson! A touch of fortune about it, but United back on level terms. Shell Olofsson's 18th goal of the season.
That was a fantastic strike. Great ball from Winters. Look at this, just over the head of the defender there. He gets there, he puts it on target, that's got to be said. He brings out a tremendous dive from the keeper, but the thing was it came back and hit Jonathan Gould went into net. It's all about the quality of this cross, so that's a good effort from a difficult cross. And he gets a bit of luck, there's no doubt with the fortune there, but they played well, Dundee United, in that first spell. And you couldn't really grudge them a goal in this match. Certainly makes it very, very exciting, but what a good finish.
And United giving even more thanks for Kjell Olofsson's quick recovery from that cartilage operation. And Tommy McLean has been sent to the stand by the referee. So at the moment Dundee United get themselves right back in the match. Tommy McLean is taking the long walk. Well, dramatic scenes and an untimely moment for the United manager to be banished from the touchline. This was the scene on the touchline when Dundee United equalised. But since that happened, Kenny Clark has given Tommy McLean the red card.
Yeah, it must have been some sort of gesture to the linesman or something he said to the linesman. Really surprising one, that. But Tommy McLean, will be a bit frustrated having to sit in the stand and watch the rest of this game. He likes to be down there beside his players.
And a free kick halting that United attack. A decision that's not gone down too well around Tannadice or with Lars Zetterlund. Well, here's that reaction to the United equaliser again. The thumbs up to Olofsson, and then some words barked in the direction of the assistant referee on this near side. It's Brian Cassidy, the assistant referee, and obviously what Tommy McLean has said to him has led to the United manager being sent to the stand. Here's Larsson for Celtic. Back with Craig Burley. Struck well, came off Boris Malpass and cleared by Erik Pedersen. Well, what an amazing cup tie this has been. Just 20 minutes gone. 2 goals. And the manager sent packing already. Stubbs to Mahi. Simon Donnelly. And subs again being closed down quickly by Dave Bowman. That's a loose ball from Stubbs. Zetterlund, Robbie Winters taking on Mark Reaper for pace, and Reaper doing well. Cleared by Gould. Won by Zetterlund. Olofsson, Winters, handball from Tommy Boyd. A free kick in an interesting situation.
Got a real lift here, Dundee United, from that goal, that they're back in this game, that their confidence is back. I think getting the goal, but there's no doubt Tommy McLean, I think it was something to do with maybe the goal, that still believing that the Celtic goal was offside when Blackburn went through. But I think television pictures will probably prove that he was wrong in that case, but I think that that's what you don't get time to do anything about that.
Kjell Olofsson is over the free kick. It's his effort. Struck it very powerfully indeed. A couple of yards off target, but he is a menace to Celtic from all areas of the pitch.
Yeah, he's such a good striker of the ball, Olofsson there. He's just gone for power here. He scored against Celtic here already this season, but on that occasion, well off target.
Here's Paul Lambert picking up the pieces in the midfield. And the pass not finding its target, Morten Wieghorst. Testing times now for Celtic. Bowman's throw. There's Malpass. Returned with interest. Alan Stubbs' header, and out from Jamie Dolan. Wim Janssen and Murdo McLeod in the Celtic dugout area.
I don't think they'll be exactly worried yet, Rob, but they're not getting their own way in midfield. Normally the area that Celtic have been controlling in games I've seen is getting on the ball in there with Burley, Lambert, Wieghorst, all very, very prominent. Dundee United have gone and made it very difficult in there today. They've gone and fought for every ball, made it tight in that area, and consequently Celtic can't really get out.
Here's Dave Bowman and Andy McLaren pushing the ball beyond Stefan Mai and then trying to run beyond him. Struggling to get there, the Frenchman doing well. here is the man at the centre of that Tommy McLean ordering off incident, if we can call it that, and clearly Tommy McLean unhappy that he didn't flag when Harold Brattbach ran through the middle for Celtic's goal. That's what sparked the fury with the Dundee United manager, and he couldn't resist having a few words with him after Dundee United have got themselves back on level terms. So Gordon Wallace is now in charge in that Dundee United dugout area. Midway through the first half, and 1-1. Finely balanced, and Dundee United must be happy with the amount of pressure that they've been able to put on Celtic in this first half. Presley's free kick, away from Stubbs. Here's Jamie Dolan to Perry. Dolan again. Good possession play from United. Morten Vikhorst trying to win it back. Here's Winters. Tom Boyd to Henrik Larsson. Good run by Simon Donnelly. Here he is. And Harold Brattbach on the far side. It's threaded through in his direction. That's good interception by Stephen Presley. Cool play at the back. That was a pressure point. Kicked in by Mahe. Won back by Bowman. Chested down by Craig Burley. No free kick given. Robbie Winters racing through. Out comes Jonathan Gold. Well, there's the new vantage point for Tommy McLean behind his brother Jim, the chairman, and he will not be a happy man to be watching from there. Another crunching tackle going in. So important for both sides this match, and that's clear in terms of the commitment that both sides are putting in.
There's a lot of commitment. The work rate's tremendous from both sets of players, helping each other as well in the departments to close things down. But Dundee United are just getting the better of it in the midfield area at the moment, not in terms of football, but just make sure that Celtic don't get a free run there.
Henrik Larsson on the run. The run halted by Maurice Malpass's challenge. Malpass so aware that Henrik Larsson must be stopped. He sparks so much for Celtic. Mark Reaper's throw. Here is Larsson again. Again it was the Malpass challenge. Jamie Dolan gives it to Andy McLaren, who gives possession straight back to Stefan Mahe. Cutting inside Bowman. Here's Brattbach. Now Burley. Celtic trying to keep United hemmed in. Now counter-attacking possibilities for Bowman. Zetterlund on his left. Here's Olofsson. Presley. Andy McLaren making a run. Covered by Mahe, but McLaren gets there first. Still has it. A good controlled header that by Alan Stubbs. Brattbach's flick really is being played at a furious pace this match, swinging one way then the other, and swinging a bit too fast for Simon Donnelly. Couldn't quite keep that in.
The biggest problem I think Celtic have had is they've not been able to get either Simon Donnelly or Morten Vikhorst in the game, two players who could be really influential in the wider areas of the midfield because it's so congested in the middle, but neither able to get on the ball.
Here is Vikhorst on the ball. Hasn't happened too often. To Brattbach. Away from Mark Perry. Burley. Short with the pass for Larsson. Stephen Presley leading the charge out of defence, looking for a foul. It's not given. Zetterlund leaves it for Dolan. Out of play, but Jamie Dolan fulfilling an important role as anchor man in the middle of the United midfield. Larsson trying to keep possession under a fair bit of pressure from Pedersen. Pedersen free of his parental duties of earlier in the day. Alan Stubbs waiting till someone becomes available for the pass. It's Donnelly. Burley and Reaper involved as Celtic work a little triangle. Now Alan Stubbs finds its way through to Brattbach. Alan Stubbs, good tackle that by Mark Perry, right at the edge of the area. He had to time that one. Lambert threads it through for Morton Vickers. Chance here for Celtic. The shot blocked by Malpass. Stefan Mahi was up in support. He's holding his head in his hands. He reckoned the pass was on. Now play heading up in the other direction. Andy McLaren's run unceremoniously even blocked by Paul Lambert, and that's a yellow card for Lambert.
Yeah, it was a body check there. McLaren went at him and just pushed it past him. I think Paul Lambert knew exactly he was beaten at this point because he went forward to the ball to try and intercept it. Body check. Maybe somebody's picked up when he was in the continent, but I don't think there's any doubt it was a foul. I'm not sure quite whether it was a yellow card decision or not, but definitely a foul.
Here's McLaren again, and that was a good recovery by Mai, who lost his footing at first, but he certainly mounted a good recovery job there. Fired in by Perry. Here's McLaren again. He's dispossessed by Brattbach. Here's Vikhorst. It's a loose pass by Morten Vikhorst. He'd plenty time. Won by Presley. Dolan. The pass intercepted by Lambert. Back with Lambert again. An untidy spell of play. Here's Vikhorst. It's Brattbach. Jimmy Dolan himself in the way. Won back by Craig Burley. United badly want this cleared out of the area, but knocked in by Burley. Good punch by Dijkstra. Morten Vikhorst was homing in this time from Henrik Larsson. A bit too strong with the cross. And away from McLaren. Good flick from Winters. He's away from Tommy Boyd. Zetterlund's on his left-hand side. Finds its way there. Took too long. And the ball nipped away from him by Lambert. Craig Burley's pass too strong.
Yeah, it was a good spell there, Rob. The game really stretched. Celtic having a good attack to start with. The ball getting cleared after the cross by Larsson was a little bit long, and then good break with Dundee United with Winters once again getting a little turn on Tommy Boyd and getting away. And that's always going to spark trouble for Celtic, their man-for-man system. If like Winters or Olsen can beat their man and get running at the Celtic defence.
Kenny Clark giving the throw into Celtic, which didn't go down too well with the Dundee United supporters. Lofted forward by Perry. Won by Andy McLaren. He was well up, gets it back. That's good tackling back by Mahi. Burley to Vikhorst. He's away from Maurice Malpass. Morten Vikhorst is away from Mark Perry. Tried to pull it back from the byline, but it was a good interception by Sieb Dijkstra, which foiled Vikhorst. Great pace and power from Vikhorst. He drifted away from Malpass as if he wasn't there.
Terrific run with Vikhorst. Good ball with Burley. Look at this though. Only one thing in his mind, just to run there, the pace, the power. Does really well there. Might have been fouled, and I just couldn't get his foot around that to cut that back. All he could do was get it square across. Good save.
In from Robbie Winters, away from Reaper. Collected by Brattbach. What a great flick that was for Vikhorst. And the minute Brattbach makes a pass, he's always moving, waiting for the next move. Nods it down for Donnelly. And away from Erik Pedersen. Good defending by Pedersen. And clever play again by Brattbach. So much involved in that move.
Lovely players, wasn't it? Brattbach twice involved in it. Nice little header here, just cushioned into the path, and Pedersen came across really well to intercept it because Donnelly was getting on the end of that.
Foul given against Dave Bowman. Play quickly moving on. Alan Stubbs with the shot. Struck that very well indeed, and it certainly had Steve Dykstra scrambling along the goal line.
Quickly taking free kick. Stubbs getting beyond his midfield there, taking the initiative, and I think Dykstra had it covered, but it was a good, powerful low shot.
That Stubbs shot going through Jamie Dolan's legs on the way, so it didn't do Dykstra any favours. Henrik Larsson trying to control it. Stephen Presley, Jamie Dolan, and Jonas Malpass leaves it for his goalkeeper. Paul Lambert's header, all he could do was nod it down for Zetterlund. That's for Winters, cushions it for Olofsson. Kjell Olofsson hoping that Robbie Winters was on the move again for the return pass. But they do have a good understanding, these two, generally. Now Stubbs, again, the room for him to push forward. No way past Jonas Malpass. Obstruction just 5 yards outside the penalty area.
Yeah, I think
that's a booking from Malpass.
They put Paul Lambert for exactly the same thing. That's what's going to happen. I don't think that's a bad foul. You come out there to block the player, he turns away, and look, you know, all he done is he runs into him. It's a foul, but I'm not sure it's a yellow card type foul. But this free kick will be dangerous. I'm sure Larsson and Stubbs will get around this. Larsson with his ability to clip it over the wall and score, and Stubbs with that great shot he's got. So either one here could be on for hitting this.
That's you covering all eventualities of what might happen there, Gordon.
Yeah, I haven't mentioned anybody else that might hit this, but looks like it's going to be Larsson.
So Larsson over the ball. 10 minutes from half time. Alan Stubbs immediately to his right hand side. Paul Lambert a bit further over. Vikhorst brought back Burley and Donnelly all inside the area. Larsson's effort. No great problem for Dundee United. Didn't really get over it properly.
It should have been Stubbs, Rob, shouldn't it? That's what I said. But I think he's good at that, Larsson. Just unfortunate on that occasion. He's leaning back, gets over it. Seen him score a lovely goal from that position. But you know, it's a really fast and furious match still, even at this stage before half time. The play is going from end to end at the moment. The game is stretching slightly, which is good. This means I find a little bit more space in midfield. I think Vikhorst is coming more into it, which I think has made a big difference to Celtic in these last 5-10 minutes.
Mark Reaper away from Lars Zetterlund. But the pass is wayward. Andy McLaren. Robbie Winters making a run. Tom Boyd doing well this time. And this time the foul goes against Robbie Winters in favour of Tom Boyd. That was well read by Boyd. He was often running before Winters as the pass was played. Stubbs knocks it over the top. Malpass, as ever, first there. Mahi. Andy McLaren trying to do some early jersey swapping by the looks of it. It's been a good tussle between these two, McLaren and Mahi, in the first half.
Yeah, I don't think there's any complaint there. I mean, he's got a hold of his arm.
Flicked on by Vikhorst. But couldn't really get much on it. And behind for the goal kick. Vikhorst with a suspicion that he might have been fouled there. Steve Dykstra, his 68th consecutive game for Dundee United since returning to Scottish football. Tommy McLean knew what he was capable of, having had him at Motherwell. Here's Winters and McLaren. Again, Stefan Mahe using his shoulder in the challenge. Free kick. In fact, the throw-in is the decision. In quickly from McLaren. But too far ahead of his strikers. Pedersen stretching out the boot to get there before Donnelly. Now Burley. Fouled by Jamie Dolan. You don't get two more competitive players than Burley and Dolan. Launched quickly by Burley, but that was the arm of Larsson which controlled the ball there. Not much chance that Henrik Larsson would get away with that.
He was unlucky. It was a terrific ball delivered by Burley into his path there, but look, he's just getting a little nudge, I think, in his back that actually forces his arm into the ball. But it really was about that pass. Burley, there was a free kick and he put the ball down, hit a 50-60 yard ball onto the chest of Larsson over the head of the Dundee United midfield. Great piece of action.
Flicked on by Olofsson. Here's Winters. Bundled over by Alan Stubbs. Free kick right on the touchline. And Robbie Winters has been a problem to the Celtic defence in this first half, and he's been fouled more than once. Eric Pedersen over the free kick. 5 tangerine shirts to aim at in the area. Up goes Reaper. Now Jamie Dolan. That's well struck. Bobbled a couple of times. And a couple of feet off target, but well worth hitting.
Super shot there from Dolan. I mean, I think it was a slight touch on it. Must have been a Dundee United player that hit, but he kept his shot down really well. Not an easy thing to do when the ball's breaking out to you from that sort of distance.
Well, Tommy McLean trying desperately by aid of a walkie-talkie to pass on instructions. He'd done some instructions for Andy McLaren a couple of minutes ago, but he was standing alongside Gordon Wallace in the dugout early on in the match, but he's now about 100 yards away, so communication is proving a major challenge. Here is McLaren. Doing well, Andy McLaren. He's in a very industrious first half, and he's really made Stefan Mahi work very hard. Winning a corner kick there. Stephen Presley and Mark Perry are up for the corner kick. Maurice Malpass too, who struck the crossbar early on. Here is Malpass again, almost on the end of that Presley header. Now Celtic on the counter, but they won't do much damage with Alan Stubbs' pass going astray. Harold Brattbach was the target. 1-1 with 5 minutes of the first half left. Long ball from Malpass, flicked on by Zetterlund, but nobody there to benefit. Flicked on by Shell Olofsson. Here's Robbie Winters, timed the run well. The shot hammered off the shins of Tommy Boyd. Behind for another corner kick. Good pressure from United, and again good link up between Olofsson and Winters.
Yeah, they've been very lively. Winters in particular has been strong running there, and Olofsson is good in there, and a little flick on there just allowed Winters just to get a run off his defender, get in, but eventually they crowd them out with the corner.
So what can United make of this? In from McLaren. Mark Perry attacking the ball. And it's a United throw. How they would love to turn this match around shortly before the half-time interval. Here's the man who put them on level terms. He'll launch one of his long throws, Shell Olofsson. Away from Reaper, but back to Olofsson. Quickly on to Dave Bowman. Stubbs with the defensive header. Controlled by Dolan. Olofsson again. Bowman. And Shell Olofsson's chances of getting the return pass were reduced by the fact that he was grounded. Dave Bowman, a 400 plus appearances man with United, a great favourite at Tannadice. Donnelly for Burley. Simon Donnelly gets it back, lofts it over the top for Weghorst. In for Donnelly again, takes a deflection, saved by Dijkstra. Didn't really carry much pace by the time it got to the goalkeeper, but that was well built up.
Yeah, it was very unlucky because Donnelly started that move very, very deep in his own half. Got the ball to Burley, took it again. Look at his movement here. He plays a lovely little ball over the head of the defender. Mark Weghorst gets on it there, looks from making his return run, and he's just put under pressure there as he's making that shot.
Lambert to Larsson. Fouled by Eric Pedersen. Eric Pedersen, one of the best man markers around in Scottish football, and he's not letting Henrik Larsson out of his sight. Kenny Clark telling him just to calm it down, or else there will be more cards on show. So Reaper and Stubbs up in the area for Celtic. Larsson himself with the free kick. Morten Weghorst slipping as he tried to get on the end of it. Less than 2 minutes now of the 45 to go. Back from Boyd to Gould. Jamie Doolan had time to control that. But Doolan has been a top performer for United in the first half. Simon Donnelly guilty, according to Kenny Clark, of backing into Stephen Presley. As the two players competed for the ball, they know each other well from under-21 days.
Yeah, it wasn't much in him. I think he was just backed into him because he knew Stephen Presley would win the ball and even jump for it.
Pedersen to Olofsson. His control, not quite as it might have been. Malpass, Winters, not the flick for once. Now Weghorst. Looking for Brattbakk. Good defending from Maurice Malpass. It's an evenly poised cup tie, this. Bowman to Perry. In the sunshine half of the United pitch. That's one back for Celtic by Craig Burley. And now he's on the run. Harold Brattbakk making a run for him. Henrik Larsson too. And now Alan Stubbs onto the right foot. Now onto the left. A curling effort and well stopped by Sieg Dijkstra. That was good play from Stubbs, working the opening himself.
That's terrific play. From spear play. Look at this skill for a big centre back coming up there and then trying to curl it with his left foot. Great effort there. He's made good use of the room he's had today, Stubbs, by breaking forward into those sort of areas.
Into stoppage time at the end of the first half. And indeed that is the half-time whistle. A compelling and engrossing Tennent's Scottish Cup quarter-final this. Harold Brattbakk broke the deadlock when he raced through the middle onto Henrik Larsson's pass, rounded Sieg Dijkstra and put Celtic in front. Dundee United equalised through the miracle man, Kjell Olofsson, after just 10 days recovering from a cartilage operation. He knocked in the equaliser, although it took a touch off Jonathan Gould after coming back off the crossbar. That was 1-1. Then Dundee United manager Tommy McLean ended up in here, in the director's box, having exchanged words with the assistant referee, who he reckoned should have flagged for offside when Harold Brattbakk scored for Celtic. The words were obviously strong and Tommy McLean was sent packing from the touchline. So it's been an action-packed and a drama-packed first 45 minutes. And the half-time scoreline at Tannadice is Dundee United 1, Celtic 1.
Thanks to Rob and Gordon. Back for the second half, of course, in just about 15 minutes. Let's get a reaction, though, from Paul Sturrock and Jim Duffy. Good cup tie, Paul, isn't it?
Oh, it's been very, very tight, a very even game, and it's been end-to-end stuff all day, a lot of action round the goalmouths, and the fans should be pleased with the first half.
Yeah, and Kjell Olofsson, not a bad advert for keyhole surgery, Jim, eh?
No, tremendous. I said I wish Manny was as good as that after keyhole surgery. So, but you know, the way he finished his goal was tremendous.
Yeah. How would you say that the first half has gone? Scoreline just about right, perhaps?
I think so. I think that United have probably been slightly the better side. Although I think Dice has had one or two saves to make more than Jonathan Gould. But I think United are a bit more competitive. They're picking up the second balls, the knockdowns. Jamie Dolan is picking up a lot of balls in the middle of the park, and the front three players have great movement and pulling Celtic around all over the place. But they haven't really threatened too much, in the 6-yard box, other than the goal. But I think that me, Tom, will probably quite happy getting back to one each after losing the goal.
We talked about Maurice Malpass before the game, Paul, didn't we? As the old head at the back, but he very nearly opened the scoring after 10 minutes. Great header, wasn't it?
Well, it's a nosebleed when he comes up that end of the park. It's not very often that you see him. You see him get into those kind of areas, but he's been coming up for all corners, I've noticed, and slowing himself up and making runs into the box really, really late. And as you can see there, it was inches away from opening the scoring.
That's right. His 79th cup tie for the D United, nearly his 5th goal. United early on really looked as if they were up for it, Jim, and that's been the case all the way through, hasn't it?
I think both goals were a little bit against the run of play. I think that United were definitely in control of the game when Celtic scored, and then once Celtic scored, they seemed to settle down and looked to be in control when then United scored. But I think it's been a very open game, as Paul said. Just as I said, just looking for a little bit more inside the penalty box. I mean, a lot of the lead-up play has been good, but the final pass in the box has just been a wee bit disappointing.
Yeah, just a bit edgy. 12 minutes in, Harold Brackback got the opening goal. Just before that, of course, he'd been involved in a little bit of a flare-up just in the centre circle with Dave Bowman. A touch of handbags at Dundee here, maybe, Paul, was it? I mean,
definitely. I think Bo panicked a wee bit, thinking he was the last man and had to get his hands on him. But yeah, definitely, it was just a scuffle.
And we will, in a second, see the goal which followed fairly quickly afterward. Harold Brackback's taking a little while to settle, obviously, Paul, but my goodness, he's in good goal-scoring form now, isn't he?
His movement's incredible from short passes, and if you look at the goal, it's coming up, basically all the time. He's on the move, always wanting to dart into wee spaces. And the goal epitomised that. He made a great run, he kept himself on side, and then a clinical finish.
Yeah, the old confidence thing. As an ex-striker, you know all about that. When you feel that you're in form and can score goals, then you will, won't you?
Yeah. And as you can see, he makes this great run, and obviously he isn't offside. Goes round the goal. I was a wee bit surprised he didn't use his left foot there, and he gave the goalie a wee sniff of it, but clinical, as I said.
Yeah, and not offside. Erik Pedersen just a little bit late stepping out, Jim, wasn't he?
Yeah, Erik Pedersen's, you see him there, he's about 2 or 3 yards behind Stephen Presley, who tries to hold the line. But you can see there, even though the ball's played, even Stephen Presley's played him on there just as the ball's left his foot. But he's a perfect foil, having Larsson, Henrik Larsson playing there, just dropping off and playing those tighter passes. And I think he was just wanting to make extra sure that the ball ended up in the back of the net. So you see it again there, where Larsson dropping off, which everybody knows he does, and a great wee diagonal run. I say they had time to put it in, but I think he just wanted to make sure, and a tremendous goal.
Yeah, Tommy McLean won't be watching this, of course, but he obviously felt it was offside. I think that's what led to the incident we'll see in a few minutes. In fact, he felt maybe that was a bad decision.
Well, where he's sitting, obviously, or standing, he's made a decision that it wasn't offside. No. The referee, the linesman's got a wee bit upset with him, I think, with a couple of words that Tommy's gave him, and basically he's went walkabout.
Absolutely. The Olofsson goal, though, a little bit unlucky perhaps from Jonathan Gould's point of view, because although it was a well-worked goal, I think we'll see it came off the keeper's back, Jim, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was, again, a great play. Robbie Winters drifts into this wide position. Mercedes been pulling Tommy Boyd out there. But you can see it's a great ball over. I think it's Mark Reaper who misjudges it. But he's just trying to cushion it rather than blast it, which is tremendous technique. And he said, OK, he's got a wee break by coming off the back of Jonathan Gould's head. You see him drifting away there in behind. He just side foots it really, just guides it in. And it's a tremendous finish really. He said, although he's got the break of the ball crossing over the line.
Yeah, good technique, Paul, wasn't it?
Yeah, excellent technique. Celtic have had problems all day with the movement of United strikers, and they've put early crosses in the box, which is really a problem to man markers because they can't get set up for them. And in that instance there, Reaper was caught a wee bit ball watching, and Olofsson was able to sneak in behind him.
Yeah, we mentioned Tommy McLean's little altercation with the linesman. I think we can actually see the words which were perhaps exchanged. Tommy absolutely convinced that that first Celtic goal was offside. We've proved that it wasn't. There's a delight at Olofsson's goal, and then I think a little just gesture of defiance or whatever you want to call it. There he is, he's looking for him, there, what about that? And the assistant referee, as we now call him, well, I suppose he doesn't really have very much option. He's got to report the United manager, and Tommy takes the long walk along the touchline to the stand. Is that a big problem for United, Paul? Tommy not been in the dugout?
Well, he's right behind the dugouts right now, and he'll have walkie-talkies on. I think we saw a picture, there was a runner as well, a young YTS boy sitting next to him. Yeah. And he can always bang in the windows as well if he gets too upset. But no, I don't think that should be a problem. His game plan was set out before the game. Yeah. And the players have kept it very well.
Good. So
the third place in the quarter-finals of the Tennent's Scottish Cup is at stake. We've seen during the half-time interval how Falkirk and Hearts got there. The third place still very much up for grabs. Dundee United about to restart in the second half. This must be the best they've played for a long time, and if they can reproduce the form they should in the first 45 minutes, it's just possible that they could claim a place in the last four of the Cup, and Celtic's hopes of a treble would be shattered. Kenny Clark just making sure that everything is right before the second half can get underway. And his assistant referee, Brian Cassidy, is certainly making headlines already. So 1-1 it is. And Andy McLaren back on the right-hand side at the start of the second half. And inevitably, Stefan Mai is with him, and there's the walkie-talkie Tommy McLean unable to sit down at the moment. He's pacing around behind the glass. And in relative terms, Jim McLean looking very calm. Stephen Mahe thinking he played that off Andy McLaren for the goal kick, but the last touch was off the Celtic man. So it's the first corner kick of the second half, and United are preparing to make a change. United keen to make the switch before this corner kick is taken. Stephen Presley has clearly picked up a knock or a pull in the very early seconds of the second half, and he is unable to continue. So it's the Swede Magnus Skoldmark who's coming on in Presley's place. This will be an interesting reshuffle. In from McLaren. Henrik Larsson's clearance. Straight back to Andy McLaren. It's a good ball in. Flicked away by Reaper. He got an important touch in the goal mouth. And now Simon Donnelly. Switching play well. Here's Vikhorst. Stephen Mahe is on the outside. That's for Mahe. Blocked by McLaren. And immediately a corner kick at the other end.
Good move there, Donnelly picking up the loose ball at the far side and starting that move off, and then a great run from Mahe. Dundee United a lot of players back though. They'll have to reshuffle. Skoldmark normally plays full-back. I'd imagine Perry would go into centre-back and plays a Presley. Skoldmark will take over his position at right-back.
Reaper, Stubbs and Vikhorst all in the area for Donnelly's corner kick. Alan Stubbs tried to get there. Cleared by Winters. Here's Tom Boyd. Mahe. Andy McLaren trying to win it back. Again, a fair bit of shirt tugging going on between the two. Flicked on by Vikhorst. Here's Simon Donnelly. He stayed on the left-hand side. Now Reaper. Paul Lambert. That's a dangerous ball in. Away from Zetterlund. Jamie Dolan taking his time. Vikhorst loses it. Flicked on quickly by Olofsson to Robbie Winters. He's away from Tom Boyd. Good effort by Robbie Winters. Sadly for him, it was straight at Jonathan Gould, but he certainly did well there to get away from Tom Boyd.
Yeah, good ball by Olofsson there into the path of Winters. That's where he's strong. Cuts inside on that occasion, just closed down, couldn't quite get an angled shot in, but a bit of power in it. No real problem for Jonathan Gould.
In from Zetterlund. Chance for Andy McLaren. He's spread-eagled in the 6-yard box. Just a hint that Stephen Mahe might have stopped him getting to this.
I don't think there's any doubt Stephen Mahe stops him getting to it. His arms up, any defender would do the same, and normally they get away with it as well. The arm was on him there, just pushing McLaren as he came in at the back post to try and just put that ball in. But it was a great cross from Olofsson, you have to say, whipped across the face of goal.
Vikhorst's run halted by the Maurice Malpass challenge, and the news of Stephen Presley is that he has a foot injury, and that's why he's had to go off, replaced by Skoldmark. That is Magnus Skoldmark doing a marking job at the moment on Henrik Larsson. Two Swedes together. Cut out by Davy Bowman. From Vikhorst, away from Pedersen. Here's Burley. Good skill from Craig Burley. Challenged by Malpass, and the curling effort from Craig Burley. Picked himself off the ground very quickly there, and had no second thoughts about what he was doing.
He's had a great season, Craig Burley. That would have been a goal about everything that's in his game. A bit of skill here to start with, a crunching tackle here to win the ball, and then gets up and tries to curl it in. No real trouble for the goalkeeper, but fantastic piece of action from Craig Burley.
Bowman to Skoldmark. Celtic working very hard to get the ball back. Here's Larsson. Noted down by Malpass for Skoldmark. Gets himself away from Mahe. The pass aimed at Winters. Runs through for Olofsson. Lars Zetterlund had a fair bit of room on the left-hand side. United not getting it to him early enough. He made a good run there, Zetterlund. Stubbs now to Larsson. He's away from Skoldmark. That came off the back of Morris Malpass. And now this incredible match swinging in the other direction. McLaren's pass not finding Winters. Cut out by Boyd and cleared by Gould. Powerful header that from Mark Reaper. Finds Harold Brattbach. The challenge from Pedersen. Lambert being forced back the way by Zetterlund. Good play from Erik Pedersen. Don't think Pedersen's had too much sleep. And his fellow Norwegian, Harold Brattbach, the man who scored the opening goal.
Certainly got no rest here, Rob. This is still a terrific match, and the pace hasn't rested at all, and it's very, very even. Both teams willing.
Nodded back by Mahi to Gould. That was good defending because he was under some pressure. Stefan Mahi has proved to be £500,000 well spent by Celtic. Olofsson's flick for Winters, holding the ball well. Zetterlund just knocking the ball over the top of Stefan Mahi's head and inviting Andy McLaren to run beyond him. Jonathan Gould, who's lost only 2 cup goals this season, none at all in the Coca-Cola Cup, and Kjell Olofsson's shot, which came off the keeper, was only the second he's lost in this competition this season. Zetterlund for Olofsson. That's missed by Boyd, flipped on by Winters. Here's Kjell Olofsson. What a chance for United! Olofsson does it again! Dundee United take the lead, 7 minutes of the second half gone. Tommy McLean looking fairly calm, he must be absolutely delighted.
Well, Celtic were caught out there. A little flick on initially by Olofsson here. Tommy Boyd missed it. The flick just beyond Stubbs, I should say. Well, what a terrific shot from Olofsson. Look at that. With his left foot, they're getting in the angle. Watch the little header on there. Tommy Boyd goes for it, misses it. Stubbs is committed and he's able to flick the ball to the path of Olofsson, who followed up in his run to drive it across the keeper into the far corner. Brilliant finish, I have to say. Keeps his composure here. He knows what he wants to do. Look, he's already slowing down. He's going to go for the shot. Far corner, terrific goal. Dundee United have done very, very well to come back in this game. And being a goal down, they've always been in it here. They're forcing Celtic and errors in the midfield. A very, very even game still, though. You wouldn't say by any means it's over, but what a break from United's point of view to get in front.
Goal number 19 of the season for Kjell Olofsson. And it really is a remarkable story considering how recently he was on the operating table, undergoing the surgery on the dodgy cartilage, keyhole surgery, and he has sprung back to some effect in this cup tie. 2 goals, and now United, having been 1 down, are 2-1 up. One by Stubbs, looking for Larsson. Magnus Skoldmark got enough of a touch with his head to deflect it away from Henrik Larsson. Here's Stefan Mahi, a direct run. All the way from Mahi. Eventually blocked by Dijkstra. But United will be alarmed at the ease with which Stefan Mahi moved into their box.
It's a tremendous opportunity. What a run from Mahi. Look at the way he opened up for himself. And it's actually Dijkstra eventually gets it away there, blocks it.
In from Simon Donnelly, nodded in by Stubbs. And back in from Lambert. That was Morris Malpass with the header. And out of play from Mark Penning. Wim Janssen now with a big challenge on his hands. How do Celtic respond to this? Very quickly into the tackle there was Erik Pedersen. Now Simon Donnelly. That's a good reverse pass for Vickers. It's 2-2. 10 minutes into the second half, and Celtic back on level terms. Set up by Donnelly, finish by Morton Veekhorst.
What a fantastic response it was too. I think Simon Donnelly does brilliant here. Look at his vision, slipping that little ball into Veekhorst. It's a good finish, slipped through the legs of the keeper, it has to be said. But it's all about Donnelly's pass there. Veekhorst in a good position to take possession of it there. Gets beyond the Dundee United defence, but you have to give Celtic a lot of credit there. It's a break back very, very quickly. To go 2-1 down and come back into the other. Great response from them, not giving up at all.
Andy McLaren on the attack for United. And what an advertisement for Scottish football this has been. Back from McLaren to Pedersen. In the way were the sparkling boots of Paul Lambert. And the Dundee United fans had been in great voice. And now it's the Celtic songs that are ringing out loud around Tannadice. Perry and Malpass up in the box for the McLaren corner kick. Mark Reaper was first there, very positive with the header. And Andy McLaren was offside when he got the ball back. He's hobbling a bit, McLaren, and it may be that United will contemplate another switch.
I think eventually McLaren will be coming off. He's been limping for quite a little while now, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if he comes off here. But look at that pass, it was a superbly, not only angled, but weighted ball as well, perfect. They're just into the path of Veekhorst there, great vision, Simon Donnelly, and that's a good finish.
Simon Donnelly of late hasn't had too many starting opportunities for Celtic. He's seeing a World Cup place slipping through his fingers possibly, but his performance here has been very impressive. Craig Brown will be taking note, undoubtedly. Morton Veekhorst had a quiet start to this match. He was fairly well nullified by Dundee United early on, but never one to underestimate. Always capable, always working hard, and as we saw there, always capable of sticking a chance away.
Yeah, it took Celtic a while to get him in the game, but once he is in it, what a big influence he is on him. He's good strong running forward, he's a good pass to the ball, he's got terrific control, and he's also very, very composed for a big man. His tight skills are excellent as well, and what a good finish that was under pressure there. Celtic 2-1 down at that stage. Still very difficult, Rob, to call this game to see where this one's going to go, because it's wide open at the moment. Both teams are well in it, and you know, nothing has been let up by either side.
That took a touch off Paul Lambert, so Shell Olofsson has the throw. Keen to get on with it. Robbie Winters. Beaten by Boyd. Here's Donnelly. Reaper to Burley. Jamie Dolan diving into the tackle. Breaks back for Burley. Good composed play from Burley, with bodies flying around in the midfield. Magnus Skoldmark claiming that throw, but it goes Celtic's way. In from Mahi to Burley. Craig Burley will be an important figure for Celtic in the remainder of this match. There's Veekhorst drifting away from Dolan. Reaper to Donnelly. Threading the ball through for Veekhorst. Tackling back was Pedersen. Gives it to Zetterlund. And that took a touch off Donnelly for a United throw. Almost an hour of the match gone. 4 goals. And the United manager, Tommy McLean, banished from the touchline. That's from McLaren. Couldn't get there before Mahi. Now Lambert spreading play to Larsson. And gets it back, Paul Lambert. Stephen Mahi. Craig Burley. Back onto the right foot. A curling effort! And it clipped the top of the crossbar after a touch with the fingertips of Steve Dykstra. What an effort that was from Craig Burley. Not too many were expecting the shot.
Absolutely superb. Knew exactly what he was doing there. That is great ability. I have to say it's a fine save as well. Dykstra's injured as well, but look at that. He's curling it, he's whipping it, with there's power in the shot, there's pace on it, there's swerve. and that ball's going in the top corner if Steve Dixon doesn't get there. He's injured himself, don't know whether he turned his ankle as he came down there, but he certainly had to make a last gasp save. A very, very good tip over the bar. It'll be a corner for Celtic, but you've got to admire Burley. He's had a terrific season, as I mentioned before, always willing to have a go, and he can really score goals as well if he's given the chance.
Craig Burley in superb form for Celtic. He's scored so many important goals for them already this season, and now in line to fill a central midfield role for Scotland after the injury recurrence with Gary McAllister. Nodded away by Jamie Dolan, a disappointing Donnelly corner. Here's Tom Boyd. Stephen Nye with a fair bit of room in which to operate here. Weghorst, short with the pass for Bratback, but it breaks for Mahi. And Henrik Larsson for once off target with one of his passes. The lengthening shadows at Tannadice. Stubbs finds Weghorst. Good skill from Morten Weghorst. Davy Bowman wasn't giving him a quiet time. Missed by Davy Bowman. Mahi looking for Larsson. Cleared by Malpass. Controlled on the chest of Jamie Dolan. That came off Burley. Dolan's away from him. Touch of the rugby tackles from Craig Burley. Dolan was away from him, and that's a yellow card.
Yeah, I don't think Craig Burley can have any complaints with either. He's lost possession here, he's going up for the tackle, he's missed it, and it is a rugby tackle. And you know, I think when players are going to be free to move on like that, it's probably the right idea. Referee's had a good game, I have to say, and I've seen him a lot of times recently, and even despite the fact I didn't agree with his decision last week, I think that he also had a good game at Iwix, and once again today handled what is a very, very competitive match very, very well.
A Malpass free kick, cleared by Alan Stubbs. It's a nudge by Magnus Skoldmark on Henrik Larsson, which almost had Henrik Larsson in the dugout. Just a hint of handball, but no hand involved there with Alan Stubbs, but the United fans were hopeful. Henrik Larsson couldn't control it. But never one to be kented out for too long. He's had too good a season for that, 17 goals already.
I think a lot of praise has to go to Olofsson today. Considering the fact that, you know, a fortnight ago he's had a cartilage operation, and he's back here today and scored a couple of goals. Gordon Wallace, a lot of organising to do down there. I just wonder whether he is getting instructions all the time. He doesn't seem to be walkie-talkie, but I'm certain someone else in that dugout must have him.
Yeah, we've certainly seen Tommy McLean balling into the walkie-talkie. Maybe Gordon Wallace has thrown his away. Weghorst to Burley. A square pass for Paul Lambert. There's Simon Donnelly. Lambert looking for the return pass. He's on the ground looking for a free kick. I reckon he was checked out of that by Zetterlund. Kenny Clark not interested. On from Stubbs and off his line Dijkstra. Getting the ball and two players there by the looks of it. United will be happy that he seems to be mobile again. Free kick against the challenge on Kjell Olofsson. Nearly 20 minutes of the second half gone.
Yeah, Davy Bowman just got a yellow card. I think that earlier incident there, just taking the opportunity to stop the game.
Kenny Clark letting play rage on, but his intention was always to get back to Bowman, which he's done now with that yellow card. There's Dolan. Olofsson. And Stubbs with the header, and another one. And hooked away by Burley. Miscue from Perry. Weghorst won the header. And good chest control this time. There's Henrik Larsson using his body well to keep Magnus Skoldmark away. Simon Donnelly. Good elusive play from Donnelly. Still has it. And the pass for Lambert. Simon Donnelly clearly growing in confidence as this game goes on. And Celtic playing the possession game. Lost by Larsson though. Dolan to McLaren. That came off Bahi.
McLaren seems to have shaken off that injury. Robbie looks as if he's okay now. One time he was signalling to the bench that he was struggling a bit, but I think the time has been the healer in that one, and he's still remaining on the field. Not any changes contemplated at the moment by either side. The subs are warming up, but no real response for them to be brought over to get changed.
Here's Erik Pedersen. What a celebration Erik Pedersen will have tonight if Dundee United make the cup semi-finals. His wife having given birth at about 12:30 this afternoon, then he sprinted to Tannadice for the game. And at the moment, United in with a chance of a place in the semi-finals. Celtic have that very same thought, and this is a delicately poised cup tie. There are two more Dundee United subs interested in proceedings, Craig Easton, and that's Emmanuel Omoyumene, the on-loan Nigerian. If the commentator has his way, he won't be coming on. Long ball from Alan Stubbs, good run from Harold Brattbakk, he's away from Mark Perry. Henrik Larsson peeling off to the far post. And Magnus Skoldmark got an important touch with his head there. Larsson was just waiting at the far post for the Brattbakk cross.
Yeah, it was a tremendously important touch there. Larsson knew exactly what he wanted. He signalled to Brattbakk. He peeled away to the back post. Harold Brattbakk looked up, saw him there and tried to deliver. Look at this. Brattbakk gets the ball there, and it's just a little flick on as Larsson's moving in it.
Skoldmark loses it to Burley. Alan Stubbs, a long booming pass for Henrik Larsson. Larsson couldn't control it, but he's won it back. Good play from Henrik Larsson, and good covering as well from Moritz Malpass.
It's a good long ball, diagonal ball. Gets a little bit of a break there. Larsson just overruns it, and that allows Malpass to come in and clear it.
Brattbakk to Weghorst, and now Burley. Jamie Dolan doing the marking job. Now Reaper. That's for Donnelly. But Erik Pedersen watches that one happily over the goal line. By Lambert. Dolan. Good pass for Winters. Back with Perry. Just rushed there by Harold Brattbakk. Dolan, the pass behind Skoldmark. And any momentum in United's play was lost at that moment. Steve Dexter slipped as he cleared. Skoldmark to Bowman. For Winters, but Mahi was there first. And a good pass through for Harold Brattbakk against Moritz Malpass. What a good challenge that was. Perfectly timed, perfectly read. He doesn't run about much these days, but when you can read the game like that, you don't have to. And at the other end, it's Stubbs.
Yeah, I'm sure Malpass there was delighted. Brattbakk wasn't going to make it a race. He was going to try and beat him with ability, and that allowed Malpass to use all his experience there, step in and win the ball. Look at this, if he'd pushed that to the line it would have been difficult build-up. Great tackle.
McLaren definitely showing signs of tiredness. He's running a bit freer at the moment than he was, but he really has put in a pound of running. And United, I think before too much longer, might think about bringing on one of their substitutes. 20 minutes of this engrossing cup tie to go, and it's 2 goals each. Flipped on by Henrik Larsson, cleared by Maurice Malpass. Kjell Olofsson did enough. I think it came off Paul Lambert. Now Olofsson through the middle with Winters. The run made by Pedersen. There wasn't too much you could fault about the run, but Erik Pedersen failing to find the final ball here.
Well, it was a long busting run. Pedersen slipped a lovely little ball into him here. Look, Pedersen's made about 70 yards up there to get there, and then can't deliver the sort of ball that the strikers were looking for.
Nodded down by Malpass. Malpass again. He's lost it now though. And the pass fell between Brattbakk and Larsson. Bowman's header. Play on, says Kenny Clark. Skullmark's header falls for Jamie Dolan. United preparing to make a change, not quite ready to do so. Here's Weghorst. Saw the loose ball coming towards him, saw the possibilities, but just dragged the shot wide.
Yeah, and then McLaren's coming off now. Eventually he was going to be substituted, and he's done a good job today.
Who's the substitute, Gordon?
Substitute is Ona Yimney. How close is that?
That's possibly as close as we're going to get. Emmanuel Olayimne on loan from West Ham United, 20 years of age, and a Nigerian. And he's featured in the last 3 league matches for United.
If this had been a radio commentary, I'm sure he wouldn't have got a kick for the rest of the game, Rob. But
sadly, there might be others watching. Left by Olofsson for Bowman. Away from Stubbs. Here's Weghorst and Henrik Larsson. The pass releases Craig Burley. Simon Donnelly's on the right-hand side. That's for Harold Brattbakk. Now Weghorst again. Pedersen in front of him. Skullmark there too. And away from Lars Zetterlund, but Celtic still have it. Burley gets the pass away to Donnelly. Simon Donnelly forced back the way. And that's competitive stuff from Pedersen. And a good ball for Craig Burley. Cleared by Maurice Malpass. Direct stuff from Celtic. It was a good ball and it's acknowledged by Craig Burley.
that was really well found there by Stubbs there. Burley had stayed up the field, and Malpass once again getting in the exactly right position there, covering his near post where the danger cross was going to be.
Taken short by Simon Donnelly to Paul Lambert, and Donnelly gets it back. Controlled by Weghorst, Olayimne, and cleared by Magnus Skullmark this time. United under a bit of pressure. The skipper Tom Boyd for Henrik Larsson. The offside flag up against him. Joe Kelly, the assistant referee on the far side, flagging. He's been the quiet one during the match. Most of the headlines have been grabbed by his opposite number on the other side, Brian Cassidy. Pedersen looking for Olofsson. 2 players who arrived at Tannadice at the same time. The Scandinavian invasion. That's for Dave Bowman. Olayimne at the far post. Stephen Mai just let it run.
good ball fire to the back post. Yimney was getting in there, but you know, Mahi had him tracked, I think, just underneath it, making sure the striker wasn't going to get a head on goal.
Flicked on by Brattbakk. Henrik Larsson against Magnus Skolmark. That's good defending. A real pressure point that for Skolmark, and he dealt well with it.
This was good defending. I mean, this is being strong and keeping your feet and making sure that his fellow countryman there, Larsson, didn't get the strength and the pace to get beyond them.
Well, Zetterlund beaten by Paul Lambert in the tackle. Zetterlund again. One of the match's few quiet spells, this. I'm sure it won't last for long. Away from Tom Boyd. Zetterlund's header. That was Mark Reaper climbing above Kjell Olofsson. Jamie Dolan. That was a fairly miraculous clearance by Mahi. Here come United. Yimney. That's a corner kick. It came off Alan Stubbs. There were targets in the middle for the cross there, but United having to settle for a corner. Yimney having a look into the area. Morris Malpass is up. Skolmark as well. Flick from Malpass. Knocked in by Perry. Away from Vikhorst. The back heel from Larsson. Alan Stubbs. Out comes Celtic. The back run spotted by Stubbs. Support arriving in the box. Here's Donnelly. And Vikhorst. Brattbakk again. Vikhorst again. And now Stubbs! Again, bolstering the attack, Alan Stubbs. And that was a good effort, comfortably held by Dijkstra.
Very patient from Celtic, that, wasn't it? Knocking it a lot across square and the goal. That's a good strike from Stubbs. Difficult one to take. And you've got to give Dijkstra credit as well, getting down there and smothering it.
Lambert to Donnelly. Now Burley. And Stefan Mahi. Celtic moving the ball around nicely. Left by Larsson and out of Skolmark. With 12 minutes to go, this is an important stage. A goal now could be decisive. Vikhorst, Larsson, controlling the ball well. Cleared by Morris Malpass. Olofsson beaten by Reaper. Jamie Dolan for Robbie Winters. That's looking for Olofsson, not enough pace in the pass. Alan Stubbs in the way. It's another fine pass from Alan Stubbs. He really is spraying them around at the moment. In from Henrik Larsson. Controlled well by Simon Donnelly. That was a difficult one. Here's Lambert and Vikhorst. Leaves it to Simon Donnelly. Darts into the space. Took a deflection. It's a corner kick. Good effort from Donnelly. He saw the opportunity there.
Yeah, I think Tommy McLean would want to get his team out a little bit more. Look, they're sitting in there, a lot of players on the edge of the box, but they're giving Celtic shooting opportunities for the edge of the box. And any of those sort of drives, that the one Donnelly's just had there, could easily deflect off somebody and leave Dijkstra stranded. They've got to go out and push out when Celtics are shooting.
Donnelly's corner kick away from Olofsson. Back with Tom Boyd. Donnelly again. And came off Pettersson. Dolan to Winters. Kjell Olofsson sprinting through the middle. Now a change of direction. The first time effort, didn't really catch it that time. There was good movement from Olofsson. He went one way, then the other. Found by the Winters pass. Now some defending for United to do. Yimney gives it to Skolmark. Don't think he was looking for a return pass there.
Yeah, Winters did well. He cuts inside. Look at Olofsson running across him there. in front, but you know, not getting in a good position, almost where they scored from before, but under more pressure. Signs are there for me that Celtic are getting in top. They're pressurising Dundee United, and Dundee United are hitting them more on the break now.
Good pass from Jamie Dolan for Lars Zetterlund. Erik Pedersen's up in support. Zetterlund! It took a deflection, and it was well held by Jonathan Gould. That was a difficult enough effort on goal, but especially when it took a touch.
Yeah, Celtic are pushing forward, looking for winners, and they're getting caught out here. That was a little deflected shot as well, you have to say, and Jonathan Gould did well to hold it. Not a lot of power at the end of the shot, but Celtic, I think, are just territorially, possession-wise, getting on top, beginning to create more. United are sitting in, bedding in, and they're hoping just to catch Celtic as soon as they get the ball, miss out the midfield, get it into the front men right away.
Honest ball pass, again decisive. Mahi. One of these weaving runs. One back by Skolmark. Good play from him. Loose ball picked up by Larsson. Lambert being closed down by Zetterlund. Gets the pass away to Donnelly. Now the long ball from Reaper. Mahe for a Bratback, gets the header. Weghorst. Magnus Skolmark in control. Gets the return pass from Sieb Dijkstra. That's a miss hit from Tommy Boyd. Hands possession to Dave Bowman. It's a poor pass though from Bowman. And now here comes Celtic again. He won't be popular with his defenders, Dave Bowman, for giving the ball away in that sort of position. Burley to Donnelly. Paul Lambert available as ever. Now Weghorst, tightly marked by Bowman. Reaper forced to go all the way back from the halfway line. Kjell Olofsson was working hard. There's more to being a striker than scoring goals. Craig Easton, meanwhile, is on the touchline waiting to come on as a United sub. And now that the ball's dead, that might be possible. So Kenny Clark has okayed the substitution. Jamie Dolan is the man to come off. He's had a good game. Very solid citizen at the heart of the midfield. And on in his place comes the teenager Craig Easton. Instructions being passed to Kjell Olofsson to push out wider as United try to find the tactical switch which might win the game. 7 minutes left. In from Mahe. Blocked by Zetterlund. Kjell Olofsson won't be able to catch that. Is it to be a replay at Celtic Park, or can one of these sides find something to settle a pulsating cup tie? Free kick given to Celtic. Craig Easton immediately involved. And Celtic pushing bodies forward into the box. Stubbs and Reaper both in your picture. That Reaper's header, and that's well held by Sieb Dijkstra. He starts off with a fatal advantage, he's so tall, but he uses his physique well. Not maybe the best distribution on that occasion, but he's pulled off some important stops for them. Simon Donnelly trying to take advantage, but Erik Pedersen always knew what he was doing. Here's Burley. It came off Zetterlund. They've seen plenty of each other, these two. That's off Olofsson. Tom Boyd has the throw. Possession relinquished. Olofsson to Winters. Craig Easton's alongside him. Here is Easton. Easton claiming a foul and gets it. The challenge by Morten Vikhorst. Vikhorst is furious, and he's had words with Kenny Clark, which is not too advisable. It doesn't look as though it's going to be a card for Vikhorst, but he wasn't at all happy about being pulled up for this.
I think he just bumps him here. I think Easton just turns it there, and Vikhorst is just going across, just bumps into the back of him. I think Craig Easton, to be fair, had already lost possession of the ball, but certainly knocked over there by Vikhorst, and this foul gives Olofsson a chance of his hat-trick.
Every green and white shirt is behind the ball, as you'd expect at this stage of the match. Kjell Olofsson is standing over it. Dave Bowman is the infiltrator. Olofsson! Brilliant save by Jonathan Gould. Kjell Olofsson with 2 goals already. Very close there to making a 3 and winning the match.
Good save. He pulls this in. That's going in at the corner. And what a terrific leap across his goals there by Jonathan Gould, just to get that away for the corner.
The Omayumni corner kick. The effort at the far post was by Mark Perry, cleared by Simon Donnelly. Yet again Celtic indebted to Jonathan Gould. He's had a superb season. The flick from Olofsson. The danger might not be over yet. In from Winters. And it took a touch off Alan Stubbs. United have the corner kick, but they might have had more there.
Yeah, first I thought he was in here. Watch this little touch, just flicked into the path, but it goes a bit wide from further than I think he wanted, so he decides to try and put the cross in there and just knocks it off Stubbs.
Will be Winters the match winner against Aberdeen in the 3rd round. Omayumni's corner kick, away from Vikhorst. The flip from Brattbakk at the edge of the box finds Larsson. Celtic now pushing out. Here's Donnelly. And Vikhorst. Well, not quite sure who that was intended for. Morten Vikhorst indicating to Harold Brattbakk that he should have made the run into that area, but Brattbakk was nowhere near it. Skoldmark finding Winters, and he's not there.
I have to say Skoldmark has fitted in well coming into the team, due to the injury to Presley. He's come in at right back there and moved Presley, moved Perry inside beside Malpass, but Skoldmark certainly has had a good match as he came on.
The flick from Larsson. Mark Perry's header. Hammered on by Skoldmark, left by Boyd. Up into the blue sky from Stubbs. And here's the man of the match, not surprisingly. What a match he's had, Kjell Olofsson, and this was the moment in which he nearly got his hat-trick and won the game for United, tipped away by Gould.
Yeah, that would have put a seal on it. I think Eric Peterson would have been calling his new baby Shell if that one had gone in, Rob, because a hat-trick and a winning goal on the same day would have been fantastic for him.
Good tackle by Craig Easton, nipping the ball away from Paul Lambert. Rescued by Stubbs. Kept in by Larsson. Good challenge though from Skoldmark. Bowman to Omayumni. He would become an instant hero if he could do something here. And a foul this time about which Morten Vikhorst cannot protest. He's shaking his head. I'm not quite sure what he's shaking his head about. You don't get too many more obvious infringements than this.
I think he just noticed he maybe knocked the ball a little bit too far from himself there. Decided to use the foot very strategically of Vikhorst, I have to say.
In from Bowman, away from Stubbs. Now Henrik Larsson. Just 30 seconds of the 90 are left. Plus what Kenny Clark decides to add on in stoppage time. There can't be too much left. Skoldmark to Bowman. Back to Magnus Skoldmark. A fierce challenge for the ball from Craig Burley. He claims he got the ball. He claims that was fair enough. But Magnus Skoldmark doesn't see it that way at the moment.
Well, I might be wrong, but I thought at first that was a terrific tackle, but it is straight leg, but his leg does come down eventually, and he's put solely his foot goes against the ball. I know he looked as if he had lunged a bit at it, but it wasn't high, it was on the ball, and I thought it was perfectly fair.
I think Kenny Clark's ruling there was that the studs were showing as he went into the tackle possibly, but Burley certainly got the ball there. A hotly disputed free kick from Bowman, knocked in by Easton, missed by Olofsson. It's up in the air, away from Vikhorst and from Burley. United win it back, and a delayed whistle there from Kenny Clark. Free kick quickly taken by Celtic. Here's brought back, a chance for Celtic right at the end. The pass a bit wide for Larsson, but back in for Bradford! And right at the death, inside stoppage time, an on goal from Pedersen surely puts Celtic in the semi-finals of the Cup.
Well, it was all about the quick free kick there, actually, Rob. That's what turned it around. The foul was in the Celtic half. Schoolmark foul, quickly played in right back, knocks the ball a little bit wide. You have to give Larsson credit, he passed it in first time here. I feel sorry for Pedersen. Look, didn't see it coming. He probably thinks that Dijkstra's going to get that there, and it just breaks off him into the net. An unfortunate way to lose any game, you have to say, if that turns out to the winner. Look, Pedersen doesn't know anything about it here, and the ball strikes him and goes in, but really you have to say, give credit to Celtic for the quick free kick, because that's what made it all happen there, getting the ball down and playing that quickly. There's a booking, I think, for Morten Vikhorst there.
And more card action for Kenny Clark. Another yellow card having been shown. And there's the amazing scoreline. Free kick in from Maurice Malpass. What can Dundee United do about this? Here's Olofsson trying to get a shooting chance at the edge of the box. Charged down by Stubbs. Here comes Simon Donnelly. Celtic showing no sign of stopping here. Harold Brattbakk. Tackled by Dave Bowman. Kept in by Pedersen. 2 minutes of stoppage time are played. There can't be too much more to go. And this most amazing of cup ties with a remarkable finish. Perry to Pedersen, tight to the touchline. It's United's throw as the Celtic fans celebrate. The whistle can be blown any time as far as they're concerned. And the treble is still on for them. Craig Easton finding Omoyimni. Finds its way through to Skoldmark. Dispossessed though. Now Burley. He's happy just to knock the ball up into the corner and let Maurice Malpass do the chasing. Dijkstra, Zetterlund, Larsson, working hard in the dying seconds. That's full time. Celtic are in the semi-finals of the Tennant Scottish Cup, and it's been the most dramatic ending imaginable to a cup tie. Erik Pedersen, who celebrated the birth of a baby boy earlier in the day, now hangs his head almost in disbelief that it was his own goal which has handed Celtic a place in the last four of the competition. It's cruel for Dundee United. They contributed so much to this amazing cup tie, and in the end it's a cup exit. The man of the match is Kjell Olofsson, but he won't take much consolation from that. He hangs his head. It was his effort that was tipped away right at the end by Jonathan Gould when it looked as if Dundee United might make it into the semi-finals, but the game swung the other way, and it was Celtic who struck the telling blow inside stoppage time. A cup tie to savour. The Dundee United fans will struggle to do so at the moment. They will be deeply disappointed at the outcome, but it really has been a remarkable 90 minutes.
Well, a fantastic game it was, Rob. I mean, really, you have to say that both sides gave everything. I haven't seen Dundee United play as well as this for quite some time. Celtic you know, as well, they were always getting in control of the match, I felt, but it was wide open, and when Shell Olofsson had that free kick, you thought that might have been the winner. Looked like we were maybe going to a replay, but you have to say, terrific break from Celtic at the very end. What a time to score, and what should have been the happiest day, one of the happiest days of Peterson's life, turns out to be an absolute disaster for him. Such a shame to win a game in that manner, to lose a game in that manner.
Well, certainly a happy day for Wim Jansen, the Celtic head coach, and he's with Chick.
Wim, another quiet afternoon at the office for you. Never a dull moment.
No, we are very happy to score in the last few minutes, but it was a very hard game for us, and we knew that before, and it happened again today, but we are happy to go to the next round.
Would you have been happy to settle for a draw and that with maybe 5 minutes to go?
Yeah, you never know with us. We keep going till the end, and we had some hard moments at the end, and but we scored the winning goal, and that was the most important.
You decided to keep with the team and make no substitutions. You always had confidence in the players on the park.
Yeah, I think so. We know about our defence, and today we had not so many players up front to change, so it wasn't so easy.
You played the system now, Vim, where you lost Jackie McNamara through injury. Simon Donnelly comes in, just plays the same role.
Yeah, he plays the same role. He knows how to play, and that's important. We don't need to change the team if someone is coming in.
So how do you're so calm about that? It's such an exciting game.
Yeah, of course it's exciting, but always you're happy to win the game, and that makes it more easier for you.
You said before the game that Dundee United would be up and give you a hard game. That's really
well, they always give us a hard game, so they never give us an easy game, and they did it today again. It was a very hard game, and we were happy to score in the last minutes.
So many players contributed throughout the game. I thought Craig Burley an outstanding game again for you.
Yeah, I think all the players, they work very hard, and I think if we pass the ball a little bit more better than we did in the first half of part-time, then it was more easier, but we make it a little bit hard by ourselves sometimes, and you know it's always a hard game.
The treble is still very much in your sights?
Well, we see it game by game now. We meet them again on Sunday, and a hard game again, we know that.
Any preferences for the semi-final? The draw is made on Tuesday?
No, you can't change it, so we have to wait for it.
Anyone you like? Well done today, man. Fantastic performance, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's always quiet satisfaction rather than wild celebration from Wim Jansen, but he'll be very pleased at the way things have turned out, and it goes without saying that these people are more than delighted at what has happened here at Tannadice this afternoon. Their treble dream is still alive, and it's dejection for the Dundee United supporters as they wend homewards. When they look back on this, they'll think that their team has played a lot better than it's played for a long time, but they'll be deeply disappointed that at the end of it all they come out of this cup tie with absolutely nothing. They've now won just 4 out of their last 17 matches. As we head back into the tunnel area and hear from Celtic's Craig Burley.
Craig, unbelievable into that, was it not?
A fantastic game, I think, for supporters to watch, but nerve-wracking for the players. Disappointing to lose the goal and go 2-1 down second half. Difficult to come back, but credit to the lads, should get character this year.
When you do lose a goal, you come back quickly, don't you?
Well, you hope so, otherwise you're in trouble. We've done that in the league game here, managed to score in the last minute, but we played some good stuff at times today, but it was tough out there, and they really battled well, credit to them.
Would you have settled for a replay with maybe 10-15 minutes to go?
I think we would have settled for it, but we're hoping that wasn't going to be the case, because it's another game. We've got Dundee United next week as well, and I think the fixtures are going to pile up, so I'm just glad we managed to get the winner.
Get them out of the way, sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, especially playing them next week.
The manager has just interviewed Wim Jansen. He said that he had confidence in the team, no changes made, the substitutes weren't used.
No, that's it. I mean, Simon's come in, done tremendous, and I think the motto this year is don't change it too much if you don't have to, and I think that showed my performances. But it was tough out there, and I felt the pace myself. I've been out a couple of weeks with an injury, and that was just a fearsome pace, but credit to the lads, dug in.
Never been a dull moment, Craig. Thanks a million.
Cheers, Chick. Thanks.
Craig Burley, one of several outstanding performers for Celtic this afternoon, and for them the treble is still on. The Coca-Cola Cup was won in November. That's them now into the semi-finals of the Tennant Scottish Cup alongside Falkirk and Hearts, and either Rangers or Dundee. That match to be played tomorrow night, and Celtic also lead the Premier Division. It's been a famous day for them at Tannadice in a match they might have lost, but ended up winning in the most dramatic fashion with an own goal from Erik Pettersson in injury time. At Tannadice, a quite incredible game finished. Dundee United 2, Celtic 3.
Yes, it was an enthralling cup tie, won by an own goal in the 90th minute. It's a cruel old game sometimes, Paul, isn't it?
I think travesty is the word to use for United tonight. I felt as it went 2-2 that Celtic looked to be holding on for the draw, and if somebody was going to score, it looked like United. And what happens, they go down the park, get caught with a quick free kick and finish up losing the game. And everybody's obviously going to be disappointed going away from here today if you're a United fan.
Yeah, I think over the piece, maybe, Jim, a draw would have been a reasonable result for both sides, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think it would have been a fair result on the balance of play. But I think United would like to play Celtic for 85 minutes one day. I don't know how many times that Celtic have done that to United in the last minute or last couple of minutes over the years. And but they put everything into the game. Tommy McLean can't complain about the commitment, or in fact the way his team played. But concentration is vital, especially against Celtic. And as Paul says, a quick free kick there, and Harold Brattbach went on and chased forward, and that was a severe punishment for them.
So when you look at the pattern of the game, Celtic going ahead, United coming back well to equalise, and then going ahead 7 minutes into the second half. Let's take a look at that one, Jim. Shell Olofsson, who started the move and finished it, in fact, didn't he? Because he had the flick on originally.
That's right.
For Robbie Winters.
Well, we're on about Celtic's defence before the game being so organised, but here you can see them. They missed the first one, and then Alan Stubbs sells his cell there. But it's a tremendous finish. He's right on the 18-yard line with his left foot and right into the far corner. But two Celtic players really. The first one here's beaten. You see Tommy Boy completely missed kicks it, and Alan Stubbs really should have backed off. But as I said, you see him steadying himself and a great finish into the far corner.
Paul, you want to come in on this one?
You can see the man marking. It's really, really difficult, when they're so compact, the centre backs of Celtic. It causes all problems down the channels, and all afternoon Winters and Mollison were able to spin off and down the channels and cause them concern.
Yeah, you were saying at half time you were perhaps looking forward to what McLaren was going to do against Mahy in the second half. In fact, Mahy had a terrific run early in the second half as well, and into the near post, and this was the attacking side of a principally defensive player, wasn't
Absolutely incredible. They all backed off him, dropped off him, and I tell you, if he had a wee look, the goalie had sold himself. He could have, I think, rolled it into the net from that angle.
There was maybe just space, just to squeeze it in at the near post, wasn't there?
I think it shows again Celtic's desire to try and win games. That's their left back is up there.
Yeah.
When he scored against Dunfermline in the previous round as well.
That's right, he did.
So Celtic weren't sitting back, and it was two teams going hell for leather for the victory. And it was an absolutely incredible game, a great game for everybody here and everybody watching.
Absolutely, unless you're a Dundee United fan.
Well, I mean, the final result.
For those of us who are neutral, it was a great afternoon's entertainment.
And football is unfortunately all about winning.
It is. Martin Vickers scored, but great skill by Simon Donnelly for the second Celtic goal.
United have had problems all year. They go ahead and they just can't seem to hold on to leads. But incredible vision there from Donnelly, and it's a great finish actually underneath the goalkeeper. That had been coming. There had been 2 or 3 half chances round about that time, but as you can see with United, so many people back the park, it's very, very difficult. You just have to get caught out with an awkward pass in this reverse play here. The boy Skolmark gets caught on the wrong side of Weghorst, and really it has been a problem at United all season.
I don't suppose Celtic fans will like me mentioning, but it was like Ian Durrant's run there, the way Simon Donnelly picked up there at his peak.
Yes.
Ian Durrant loved the little reverse pass, looking one way, reverse pass the other way into the path, and that type of play was tremendous. And again, Weghorst, getting in the box, but a great goal.
Yeah, and Celtic had a little dominant patch there, I think, really, didn't they? I mean, after they obviously took encouragement from the goal, and they maybe looked as if there was going to be a winner, it was going to be Celtic at that stage, didn't it?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Their midfield took control of the game then, and United's midfield sat back in front of their defenders then, and you found space for Weghorst and Burley getting forward. I think Burley had another chance where he...
Yeah, in fact, we can see that now. Craig Burley, who did a terrific game today, I thought.
Again, he
this would have been a great goal, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but he's played the ball here, and he takes the defender on, knows exactly what he wants to do, and just inches away. It's a good save. But you can see him, he's been scoring goals all season, and he whips it in with a great bit of pace. And I think if Seems Dykstra's no 6'5" or whatever it is, then it's in the top corner.
Yeah, just a fingertip job. Good save from Dykstra there, good save from Jonathan Gould at the other end, Paul, because Lars Zetterlund had a bit of a snapshot here, and Gould did well to get onto the end of this one.
Did very well, because I think if you look, there's a slight deflection to it, and it could have. If he just comes inside, and I think it just comes off the knee or shin of Lambert, but he's done very, very well. And look at this, he's looking to see if he can start an attack.
Yes. Little deflection here, which
I think it took the pace off the ball, which helped Jonathan Gould. But you know, he's another one. He had you know, a couple of good saves at vital times for Celtic.
He did,
and as Paul said, his distribution is excellent as well.
Yeah, good save from an Olofsson free kick. We can see now, in fact, again, Jonathan Gould in the thick of the action as United came back into the game after a little spell of Celtic dominance. This was a great free kick, and what a hat-trick this would have been.
Well, to be fair, it's on the goalkeeper's side. I'd be very unhappy if my goalie's not going to save this one. He should be handling this quite comfortably. I think he did think at the beginning he was going to bend it into the other corner, so he's probably been caught a stride too far over. But his hand, you know, he's done very well. He actually palms it away to the side, which is good goalkeeping, and basically not bringing it back into play, allowing somebody to get a finish off the rebound.
And then to that 90th minute winner, you can't really, I suppose, attach any blame to Pedersen, Jim, can you? The ball struck, I mean, you know nothing about it.
He's in the right position. I mean, he's in front. I mean, you see there that Larsson crosses it in, and you know, I think it's Simon Dornlich's behind him. He's in the right area. Perhaps he thought that Steve Dijkstra was going to cut the ball out and just got a little bit flat-footed, but it's bounced up and hit him on the knee and crawled over the line. And there's nothing worse for a player.
All came of a very quick free kick, which was maybe the key point, Paul, wasn't it? That was really set up the chance.
They got caught sucked forward, and basically, but I would have liked him to maybe go and attack the ball with Bratt back in the middle here. He decides to leave Bratt back because he comes across, he sees he goes back away from Bratt back and lets him across the face of him. If he stays with him, I'm sure the challenge, he'll be able to maybe clear the ball rather than in the scenario where he got caught blind because Bratt back missed the ball and eventually hits him and goes into the net.
See, I'm not in the game now. I can tell you should have been cynical. Somebody should have just tripped Bratt back as soon as he started his run. You know, I mean, if I'm in the game, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you've got to play open football. But certainly, if you want to win the game, they should just stop the play there and get everybody back behind the ball. And you know, they still have another chance to get through.
Particularly at that stage, of course, isn't it? And as you were saying, Jim, when it looked like heading for a draw, they'd have met next Sunday in the league, and then the following Wednesday again in the cup replay. And that's not a good thing, really. I mean, you don't look to be playing. That would be what, 7 meetings in the one season.
Well, you can see with today's game, it is so evenly balanced. And each coach or manager was being, you know, trying to cancel each other out. Celtic's defenders were picking up United's players man for man, and United were doing the same. And as I said, in saying that, it was a tremendous game for that, you know. But I think that was down to the movement of the players and the strikers. I think in particular Celtic's midfield and United's front players, I think their movement was you know, great throughout the game, and an appetite was tremendous.
Yeah, the pace of the game was incredible. Here's Tommy McLean's reaction, by the way, to that last minute goal. He, of course, had been sent from the dugout earlier on, and this was the reaction there. Jim McLean in the front, heads and hands. What a way to lose a vital cup tie in which United had contributed so very much. A word on Kenny Clark, who got a bit of criticism at Ibrox last week, unfairly I thought, for the Goff incident, but I thought he was outstanding today, Paul.
He had a very, very good game. I'm saying he was kept up to play. He quite prepared to let it go. You know, the Bowman incident where he let it flow, and then you know, a couple of seconds later went back and booked him. He's very much improved, and hopefully we can have a few more that come into that category.
Absolutely. So Celtic's bandwagon rolls on, Jim. The treble's still very much on, obviously. United, well, I suppose if you're being really down about it, you say, well, the season's virtually over for United. They're not going to be relegated, you wouldn't have thought. No. But can they take much out of this game?
I think they can take an awful lot out of the performance, and as I said, in the attitude of the players, and I think it was just unfortunate at the end that they lost the game. I mean, you mentioned the referee earlier on. I don't know if Tommy will be too happy with the referee, because he allowed Celtic to take a quick free kick, which was maybe a few yards further forward than where the free kick occurred. But it was, you know, good refereeing in the sense of allowing you know, the entertainment value to the game to flow the whole time. He very rarely stopped the play and held it up. But I think United, as I said, if they go and take that type of form into other games, I think the atmosphere helped United players. But they've got another big game next week again, and if they feel sorry for themselves, then Celtic will steamroll them.
That's right. But Tommy's got to look for that level of commitment in every game, as every manager does, I suppose, don't they?
Oh, I think so. I think it's important now that they get 2 or 3 points in the bag, because obviously all of us are hoping to keep clear of it, and I would hate to think that they lose confidence from that today, and it'll be a big sickener for them, and they finish up having to bite and scratch to keep away from the bottom half of the league.
Absolutely, they gave so much today. So if you are just joining us, perhaps been out on Sunday afternoon, I have to tell you missed an absolutely terrific cup tie here at Tannadice. Celtic winning it in the 90th minute by 3-2. Here's the highlights of a fabulous second half.
Zetterlund for Olofsson. That's missed by Boyd, flipped on by Winters. Hushel Olofsson, what a chance for United! Olofsson does it again! Dundee United take the lead 7 second half gone. Tommy McLean looking fairly calm. He must be absolutely delighted. In from Mahe to Bratback. Now Simon Donnelly. That's a good reverse pass for Vickers. It's 2-2. 10 minutes into the second half, and Celtic back on level terms. Set up by Donnelly, finished by Morton Vickers. Now Lambert spreading play to Larson and gets it back. Paul Lambert. Stephen Mahe, Craig Burley back onto the right foot. A curling effort, and it clipped the top of the crossbar after a touch with the fingertips of Steve Dykstra. What an effort that was from Craig Burley. Not too many were expecting the shot. Shell Olofsson is standing over it. Dave Bowman is the infiltrator. Olofsson, brilliant save by Jonathan Gould. Shell Olofsson with 2 goals already. Very close there to making it 3 and winning the match. Away from Vikhorst and from Burley. United win it back. And a delayed whistle there from Kenny Clark. Free kick quickly taken by Celtic. Here's Bratback. A chance for Celtic right at the end. The pass a bit wide for Larson, but back in for Bratback! And in on Eric Pedersen! And right at the death inside stoppage time! An on goal from Pedersen surely puts Celtic in the semi-finals of the Cup.
And no matter which team you support, you have to feel that poor Eric Pedersen. The day started so well for him with the birth of his second son at lunchtime. It finishes with that awful own goal in the final minute of the game. So it finishes 3-2 and Celtic go through to the semi-finals of the Tennent's Scottish Cup along with Falkirk and Hearts. And tomorrow night, of course, the last of the quarter-finals when Rangers meet Dundee at Ibrox. Breaking own goal by Eric Pedersen to take Celtic through to the semi-finals. Thanks very much indeed for joining it with us. Don't forget radio coverage of Rangers DD tomorrow. Goodbye for now.